Welcome back to the last episode of our Infrastructure Continuous Compliance mini-series. In the episode 1, we talked about the reference architecture itself. In the episode 2, we applied the reference architecture using an example. In this episode, we're going to see everything working together in action using a demo. So let's get started. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at the Terraform code we have. It is going to implement a very simple firewall rule in Google Cloud Platform. We have the source range set to 0.0.0.0, which essentially is opening from the internet. And we have the destination port set to 22. So essentially we're allowing unrestricted SSH access from the internet. What we're going to do is to save this code, and we're going to push the code up to the source repository, which is the managed Git in the Google Cloud Platform. It is successful. So let's go to the source repository, refresh it. As you can tell, the code has been pushed up to the source repository. So because we pushed the code to the source repository main branch, it's going to trigger the cloud build. Let's have a look. As you can tell, the cloud build has been kicked off. It's going to take some time, so let's going to pause the video over here and then come back to see the result. Okay, the build failed as expected because we were trying to implement a firewall rule allowing unrestricted SSH access. Let's have a look what Kix tells us what happened. If we scroll down to the bottom, it actually tells us Kix found some high or medium findings asking me the remedy. So I'm going to scroll up to have a look at what's happening. It did find a medium finding. And it actually told me it was from this particular piece of the Terraform code file, and it tells me what went wrong because I was trying to set destination port as 22. Okay, what we're going to do right now is to go back to the code. Let's make a change over here. Let's do 443 for example, and we're going to push the code again up to our source repository. Now, let's have a look at the cloud build again. As you can tell, if trigger the cloud build to run again, it's going to take some time. I'm going to pause the video here again, let it run, and then we'll come back to see the result. Okay, the build is completed and it's all great. We passed all the Kix scan. So let's go up a little bit, have a look. We don't have any high or medium findings now. As it was designed, it's going to trigger the Terraform build. So let's go back to the history to look at the second cloud build. As expected, the Terraform apply was successful as well. So they basically completed our demo around the preventative controls as per design. Now let's move on to the security command center driven preventative controls. Over here, I'm going to create a firewall rule that basically allows the unrestricted SSH access. Let's call it BAT firewall. I'm going to apply this firewall rule to all instances. I'm going to set the source range to be 0.0.0.0.0, and I'm going to set the port to be port 22. Now, before I go ahead and create this firewall rule, I always ask people to guess how much time does it take for Security Command Center to find this particular insecure firewall rule, and how much time will it take for the Cloud function to automatically delete this firewall rule and send this Slack message to our Slack channel. With that in mind, you can get your stopwatch ready. Okay, let's go. So it is still creating the firewall rule. Let's wait for the little spinning thing to finish, and then we can kick off a stopwatch. Okay, we can go now. I'm going to refresh the page. Okay, still there. Cool, it's gone now. So let's have a look what happens over here in the security command center. do a refresh as well. Okay, as you can tell, Security Command Center found that particular insecure SSH firewall rule. We're going to have a look at timestamp over here, 3:20 which will just occurred. And we can have a look at the Slack as well. Again, we have the new message pushed to our Slack at 3:20 as well. Just to sum it up, the detective controls and responsive controls orchestrated by Security Command Center took less than 10 seconds to find the insecure firewall rule and delete it. And at the same time, it recorded its particular action and also it pushed a Slack channel message. Okay, that's all from the demo. I enjoyed it every time I run it. I hope you enjoyed the demo as well. Now, back to our presentation. The code and the guidance of the demo can be found from this GitHub repository. Scan the QR code or go to the link. At the end of our Infrastructure Continuous Compliance mini-series, I'd like to leave some food for thought for you to extend the framework beyond the security. This should become very familiar to you now. We have extended the policies from security to cost optimization, observability, etc. It can even extend its framework inside of your Kubernetes cluster. With the Open Policy Agent, you can run your GitOps kind of workflow. The possibility is just infinite with this reference architecture. Okay, that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed the entire mini-series. And also, I'd like you to tell us what else you want to learn from Google Cloud Platform security so we can better prepare our content. Thank you for tuning in and goodbye.